Close your eyes. Picture this: a man in a prison cell, trembling hands, drooling, officially insane for 30 years. A detective slides a folder across the table, opens it, says one thing: your son, life in prison, unless you drop the act. Trembling stops. The man sits up, looks the detective dead in the eye, laughs. He says, "You're the only person in 35 years who's seen my real face." That man was Vincent Gigante. And everything you think you know about power, he rewrote it. Before we start today's episode, I want everyone watching us for the first time to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Let's all celebrate soon when we hit 1,000 subscribers together. Don't forget to like, and as always, let's discuss in the comments and share our opinions. For 3 decades, the FBI hunted a ghost. The Italian Mafia ran like clockwork. Billions flowing, enemies disappearing, empires building. And the man behind all of it. To the world, he was a lunatic in a bathrobe, pissing himself on street corners. To the courts, he was legally insane. To the psychiatrists who examined him, brain dead. But to the 5 most powerful crime families in America, he was God. They called him the Chin, the Oddfather. And he built the most invisible criminal empire in history, while officially not mentally competent enough to tie his own shoes. How does one man fool an entire nation for 30 years? And who finally cracked the mask? The answer will break your brain. But first, you need to understand the machine he hijacked. America doesn't run on votes, it runs on money. And where money flows, someone always needs muscle. That's where the Italian Mafia comes in. They're not just criminals. They're a shadow financial system with an army of lawyers in every state, hundreds of them. Their job? Paper over the cracks. Make the dirty look clean. And if the government ever knocks, those lawyers eat the charges for breakfast. Here's what most people miss. The government knows exactly who they are, and often they work together. Assassinations the state can't touch. Deals too dirty for official channels. The Mafia isn't America's enemy. It's America's off-the-books department. They're embedded everywhere. Congress, the Senate, newsrooms. That's not conspiracy. That's infrastructure. And because of that, they need rules. Brutal, unbreakable rules. Break them, you're dead. Or worse, your family is. 3 punishments: immediate execution, torture until death, or the nightmare option. They kill your wife, your mother, your child, just to break your heart. Ruthlessness is the glue, and the rules are sacred. Or they were. Until Vincent Gigante decided to burn the playbook. Imagine a corporation where every board member carries a gun. The Mafia isn't one gang. It's a collection of families. Criminal corporations wearing a warm word. Each has a boss. And to stop the bloodshed, they created a board of directors, the commission. At the top, one man, the capo di tutti capi, the boss of all bosses. Here's the law. Only he can order a hit. Only he decides who dies. Politicians, rivals, even government officials. His word is final. And here's the kicker. You cannot remove him, ever. Prison doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. He dies in power, or he chooses his own replacement. Even then, the other bosses must vote yes. If they say no, he stays forever. Try to kill him, you're not just dead. You're erased. Your family is erased. Your entire bloodline vanishes. This law exists to protect everyone. It's the foundation. Vincent Gigante looked at this foundation and dynamited every brick. March 28, 1928, Manhattan, Little Italy. The street where Vincent was born wasn't a neighborhood, it was a fortress. Criminals were the law. Police entered once a week, if they dared. Every Italian immigrant on that block was connected, and the ultimate status symbol? Being made. For a parent, the impossible dream wasn't wealth. It was keeping your son clean. Vincent's father died when he was 5. His mother carried the weight alone, until Vincent turned 14. Then, the streets swallowed him. He didn't join the Mafia. He orbited it. Sat in their bars. Watched their games. And 2 things made them notice him. 1. A mind like a steel trap. He memorized cards, odds, faces. He won their money without cheating, just raw processing power. Fists like sledgehammers. By 15, he looked 20. By 16, he was boxing professionally, under his older brother's name. 25 fights, 21 wins, 18 knockouts. He moved his family out of Little Italy, told himself he was done, clean, a champion in the making. But the Mafia doesn't recruit, it harvests. 3 men in suits walk into his gym. Everyone freezes. They tell Vincent, "Finish your workout, then we talk." In the car, the offer comes. "You wanted in. Here's your mission." Vincent refuses. He wants the clean life. They laugh, then they stop laughing. "Refuse, and your mother has an accident, or your boxing career ends with a snapped spine. Your choice." The mission? Rough up a restaurant owner, a nothing job. Any thug could do it. But this wasn't about the job. It was about the hook. Vincent did it. Took the money, kept boxing. But they owned him now. Every match, Mafia faces in the crowd. One night before a fight, a whisper. Lose this one. We bet against you. Key lost by knockout. First time ever. That was the last bell. Vincent left boxing forever. No choice. No escape. But here's what he didn't know. None of this was random. Every step, every threat, every coincidence. Orchestrated by one man, Vito Genovese. To understand the trap, you need to see the trap. At that time, the boss of all bosses was Lucky Luciano, the architect. The man who turned street gangs into a corporate empire. He was so respected he walked without bodyguards. So smart he solved wars without blood. And that was the problem. The American government needed the Mafia dirty, controllable. Luciano was making them businessmen, legitimate, untouchable, invisible. So they framed him, locked him up, deported him. But they forgot one thing. The boss of all bosses doesn't stop being boss. From Italy, Luciano still reigned. His American proxy, Frank Costello. Same policy, same peace, same problem. Costello was brilliant, arrogant, untouchable legally. The government couldn't break him, so they changed strategy. If you can't beat the boss from outside, install your own man inside. Enter Vito Genovese, a gang boss with a volcanic hatred for Costello. The perfect weapon, but Genovese had a problem. He couldn't just shoot Costello. Mafia law forbade it. He needed a ghost. Someone outside the family. Someone smart, strong, and completely deniable. Someone like a teenage boxer with no ties. A young associate remembered a kid from the gambling halls. Terrifying in the ring, invisible to the police. Vincent Gigante. Genovese's plan was surgical. Use Vincent once, then discard him. But when they met, Genovese saw something he didn't expect. He saw himself. He kept Vincent close, made him his right hand, buried the assassination plan entirely until 1957. Costello publicly humiliated Genovese in front of everyone. The volcano erupted. Genovese called Vincent. Kill him. But if you're caught, I can't save you. Mafia law demands I sacrifice you myself. Fail, and your family burns. May 3rd, 1957, 5:00 p.m. Vincent knows Costello's routine. Bodyguards wait at the car. The elevator is the blind spot. The doors open. 4 shots. 2 to the shoulder, 2 to the head. Silencer. Walk out past the bodyguards. Gone. Costello should be dead. By every law of biology, he should be in a morgue. But the bullets? 1 grazed an ear. 1 lodged in the skull, missing the brain by millimeters. Vincent's countdown began. He knew the rules. If Costello identified him, his mother, his brothers, everyone he loved would be butchered. In every interrogation, Costello said the same thing. I don't know who shot me. Then he did something unthinkable. He called a meeting of all 5 bosses and surrendered. I don't know my attacker, but they'll try again, so I'm stepping down. My replacement? Vito Genovese. The room went silent. Costello despised Genovese. Everyone knew it. For a man that proud to bend the knee, it made no sense. But it saved Vincent's life. 2 days later, Costello's car pulls up. Window rolls down. I recognized you, Costello says, but the family's safety matters more than revenge. Let me retire. Let me die in bed. Keep your secret. And just like that, Vincent lived. Genovese took the throne, and immediately the blood returned. Crime exploded. Extortion tripled. But here's the twist. Vincent, aged 26, became the real power. Genovese was the face. Vincent was the brain. Every operation, every investment, every shadow war, planned by the assistant. 2 years later, Genovese fell. Drug charges. 15 years. By law, he stayed boss from his cell. Vincent executed his orders. But in reality, Vincent was already rewriting the future. In 1969, Genovese died in prison. The commission voted unanimously. Vincent Gigante, 41 years old, boss of all bosses, the youngest emperor in Mafia history, surrounded by 70-year-old wolves who feared him more than death itself. And he had been waiting for this moment. Plans drawn in secret. Programs designed to erase the old world. The golden era began. Vincent looked at the Mafia and saw a fatal flaw. Visibility. So he killed the old rules. Literally. First, no more Italian blood. If you're Italian, you don't kill. Period. The room revolted. Killing is who we are, Vincent smiled. Be patient. He imported Asian mercenaries, built new gangs, funded them, trained them, then, critical move, kept them hating each other so they never unified against him. The training? Professional. Corrupt intelligence officers. American spooks teaching Italians. Italians teaching Asian hit squads. A shadow military academy. Then came the secrecy laws. Brutal. Absolute. No photographs. No real names. If you tell a colleague your birth name, death. You knew each other before joining, doesn't matter. After induction, you're strangers. Ranks? Hidden. You don't know who commands you. You don't know who commands them. And Vincent himself? His name became a death sentence to speak. Members used hand signals. A gesture meant the chin. Say the word, die. his direct assistants, ghosts. No one knew their faces, their names, their existence. Curiosity became lethal. Investigate your boss's identity, marked for execution. To enforce this, Vincent made everyone a spy and built a private intelligence network that would make the FBI jealous. So what did the Mafia do without crime? They got rich. Legally. Vincent's mission: employ every Italian in America, make them all wealthy. Construction companies, over 30 of them. Law firms, casinos, hotels, restaurants. A legitimate empire feeding a criminal one. Drugs didn't stop. They got exclusive, using government connections. Yes, government connections. Vincent eliminated every rival narcotics gang. The drug trade became an Italian monopoly, and the profits laundered into skyscrapers and portfolios. The government watched a financial giant grow and looked away. But at night, the Asian ghost moved. Wars with Mexicans, Colombians, enemies erased. Nothing traced back to Italians. Perfect insulation. It was beautiful. It was invisible. It was unbreakable. Until one man started talking. John Gotti, boss of the Gambino family. The man would not shut up. TV interviews, photo shoots, charitable galas. He posed like a movie star, bragged like a politician. Every headline was a dagger aimed at Vincent's entire philosophy. Gotti had to go. Vincent ordered 6 hits. Car bombs, home invasions, every method, every failure. Then Gotti called. I surrender. Let's meet. They met. Shook hands. Gotti promised. No more media. And he vanished. The world thought Gotti got wise. They were wrong. Gotti wasn't hiding. He was plotting with the FBI. The plan: trick Vincent into a trap, provoke him, make him react, then watch him burn in court. The signal would be Gotti's return to television, full force. That meant we fooled them. The trap is set. Months later, Gotti reappeared, smiling, talking. The code word delivered. Vincent didn't blink. He was too busy managing billions. So Vincent played a different game. He framed Gotti on drug charges. Let the FBI take him. But that wasn't the real move. The real move? Vincent had already prepared something the FBI never saw coming. The arrest happened. The police brought Vincent in, and they met someone else. A man who mumbled nonsense, pissed his own pants, walked in circles. His words? Gibberish. His eyes? Vacant. Prison psychiatrists examined him, independent doctors, court-appointed experts. The verdict unanimous. Vincent Gigante was severely mentally incompetent, insane, non compos mentis. The court released him. Case closed. Every week after, television cameras caught him wandering the streets in a bathrobe, talking to parking meters, getting his medication at mental hospitals. The FBI was baffled. The Mafia ran flawlessly. Billions moved. Enemies died. Orders flowed. But from whom? No one knew the new boss's name. Vincent's secrecy laws had buried his identity so completely that even Gotti, when asked who ran the Mafia, said, I don't know. Investigators demanded a retest. New doctors, their own doctors. The result? Still insane. Officially, legally, permanently. So who was running the most powerful criminal organization in America? The answer was impossible. A name surfaces. Salvatore Gravano. 30 years. For 30 years, Vincent had played the fool. And for 30 years, the world bought it. Gravano was Gotti's underboss. Caught red-handed. Facing life. The FBI offered a deal. 6 years instead of life for everything. He took it. Live broadcast. Courtroom cameras rolling. Gravano spoke. And the facade cracked. Gotti watched on a prison television and whispered, We're done. Because Gravano knew the architecture. He named crimes, dates, bodies. And then the bomb. Vincent Gigante is not insane. He is the boss of all bosses. The 5 families answer to him. And Gotti? Gotti always knew. The implications were staggering. Those 6 failed assassination attempts on Gotti. Staged. Every miscalculated. Every failure part of the script. The secret meeting. Not a peace summit. A strategy session. Vincent laid out the entire deception. He would be arrested, play insane, control the empire from the shadows. In exchange, Gotti would cut a deal with the FBI, help them catch Vincent, get a clean record. The media silence, part of the act. The sudden return, the signal, the code word. The investigators have been fooled. And the madness? Performance art. Vincent had trained for years, practiced the walk, the mumble, the vacant stare. And before every psychiatric evaluation, he retrieved a hidden pill from a dental filling, swallowed it, hallucinated, drooled, failed every test. The moment the doctors left, clarity, command, control. For 30 years, this loop ran. Only his inner circle and the 5 bosses knew. The FBI chased a phantom while the real man laughed in a bathrobe. 30 years, millions of hours of surveillance, and only 2 cracks. Incident 1, Vincent's wandering the street. A car passes. He recognizes the driver, calls out a name, waves like an old friend. Then, snap, sees a watcher. Immediately reverts to the mad shuffle. The vacant gaze. Incident 2, crossing a street with his assistant. A car speeds toward them. Vincent breaks into a full sprint. Natural. Athletic. Fluid. Nothing like the broken gait he'd performed for decades. 2 seconds of truth, in 3 decades of lies. Gravano's confession bought time, not victory. Gotti fell in 1992. Life in prison. Vincent stayed free. Testimony alone wasn't enough, so the FBI got creative. They started whispering inside Mafia circles. Jokes. Your boss is a lunatic. You're a laughingstock. Rival gangs are mocking you. Pride is a weapon. Slowly, members turned. Tips flowed. Vincent ordered this. Vincent planned that. They arrested him. Officially insane on paper. Sentenced to 12 years. And still, the machine ran. Because the new face was Andrew Gigante, Vincent's eldest son. But Andrew wasn't the brain. He was the microphone. Vincent ran the Mafia from his cell. Still commanding, still invisible. Until 2003, a detective enters Vincent's cell, drops a thick file on the table. Everything your son did, every order he gave. Life in prison for Andrew. Unless you drop the act, confess. Take the charges. He serves 5 years. Refuse? Open the file. Destroy him. Vincent looked at the file. His hands shook. The old tremor, the madman's tremor. He opened it, flipped through pages. Then, silence. The shaking stopped. He straightened his back, took a cigarette, lit it, inhaled, and laughed. You, he said, smoke curling through the air. You are the only person in 35 years who has ever seen the real face of Vincent Gigante. 35 years of masks. Gone in one breath. If this were fiction, you'd call it impossible. A movie plot. Comic book fantasy. But it's documented. Verified. Real. Vincent Gigante died in 2006. Liver disease. Kidney failure. 3 years after he finally spoke in his true voice. And here's the final irony. From the year he died to this day, the Italian Mafia in America has never recovered. It withered. Became a ghost of itself. Which proves the terrifying truth. Vincent Gigante wasn't just a Mafia boss. He was the Mafia's mind, body, and nervous system. Remove him, and the beast went blind. He didn't just outsmart the FBI. He outlasted them. He didn't just survive prison. He ruled from inside it. He was the most dangerous criminal the United States never saw coming. And for 30 years, the most powerful man in organized crime was the man you would have crossed the street to avoid. The madman in the bathrobe. That was Vincent Gigante.